Hey, we are here at the Real Table Talk. I'm Tiana Von Johnson.
And I'm Dr. Alicia.
And remember, if it matters in love, life, and relationships,
we are talking about it.
That's right. And today's topic is why strong women still struggle in love.
Okay.
Why do we struggle finding love, keeping love, all things love? Why do strong women still struggle? Let's unpack this. So,
okay.
I'm going to talk about me. I'm going to put all my little tea on the table. Okay?
Okay.
I am 40-something. Mm-hmm. I'm going to stop telling after a certain age. I'm 40-something. And I can say I have never, ever experienced a great man. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. I have never, ever experienced a great man.
What would the experience of a great man be?
Someone that truly sees me and loves me, makes me feel safe, allows me to be who I am and show up how I am and add value, treat me amazing as a woman, as a queen, a man that actually see me working hard and they just want to take a little bit of that weight off of me with no motives. They're coming real. They are coming respectful. They are looking at the big picture of me and all that I come with. They're not trying to break me down. I've had men break me down to the lowest level of myself, but there's a ... The ... is that I didn't know I needed to be broken down to. So for as much as I can say I've never had experienced love, and I'm not proud to share that, the levels of brokenness that men have put upon me, I needed every piece of that brokenness, because every single time I was broken by a man, a black man, I have healed in ways that has grown me, has taken me to new levels spiritually, emotionally. It allowed me to look inward. It allowed me to do the work. And so while I'm not proud of what I experienced, I needed those experiences. But again, the topic is, why do strong women still struggle in love? What you thinking, Doc?
I'm thinking a lot. I'm thinking about, why can't you be a woman? Why do you have to be strong? What is the strong piece to it?
So that is a great question. So let's unpack that.
Why can't you just be a woman?
Let's unpack that. And you know why I start with strong? And you're right. The reason why I start with strong is because when I say strong, I'm looking at the woman who has to show up and be the mother, the single mother, have to show up and be the boss, because they're running businesses, they're entrepreneurs now. They are showing up strong in so many ways. The strong friend, they got to be the man, they got to be the woman, they have to do it all. So we're the women that are doing it all. We don't get the opportunity to be soft.
What happens if you are soft?
If I was strong and got broken down, I can only imagine what being soft would be. I'm scared.
Just curious.
I'm
because,
scared.
I don't know why you can't accomplish those things and be soft at the same time.
Life has taught us to be strong and stay strong.
Okay.
Because you're going to get knocked down. I know it's operating from a victim perspective, but it's a very real perspective that a lot of women go through.
Yeah. So, I wrote down everything you said because I was listening really carefully. And I think that what you wrote down is great. But I don't know a man that can do that 24/7.
Now, I wouldn't say 24/7.
Okay.
But 24? No, I'm just joking.
24. Not 24/7. Okay.
And so I don't necessarily think he has to show up like that every day, but you asked me
within reason.
But you also, but what is wrong with showing up in like that every day? Now there's levels to it. But what's wrong with, what is it? Give me an example of some of the things that I said that you feel he can't show up in that way.
Well, you says he has to see me.
Okay, I would love for him to see me.
Okay.
To see a woman that's out here working hard and doing her thing, and he doesn't try to change me. He actually tries to add value or hear me.
So if he doesn't try to change you, how do you grow in the relationship?
So change me, and what I mean by that is, if
Change
I don't wanna,
who you are fundamentally as a person.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom. Right?
Okay, yeah.
Don't force me to be. That's what I
Oh,
mean.
not forcing you to be. Because sometimes in relationships, sometimes they see you incorrectly. Because they're bringing to the relationship their own lens. And sometimes they get it wrong. So maybe I think what you're saying is that as a we'll just say a woman, because I'm not certain what strong and weak women do, but we'll just say as a woman, it is
such
possible.
such a political approach.
It's true. Sometimes he can see a version of you, and it could be an incomplete picture. And what happens is that there's holes in there, and maybe sometimes in relationships they fill in the gaps with their own stuff that they bring.
That's true.
And so I'm wondering if, if he sees you in a way that's not necessarily reflective of you, maybe that can be a conversation. Maybe it doesn't mean that that's not quite the man for you.
I don't know. Like when you see me, let's just talk about the men that I've attracted.
Okay.
You see me on a stage most times. I'm speaking, I'm teaching, I'm empowering.
Yeah.
You see me at home. I'm bossed up. I show up. My house looks great. You see me, and I know that these are all material, but I just have to be real about that.
Yeah.
You see me in my prayer life. Perhaps you see something on Instagram or Facebook. You see me praying. You see me. You see. So why are you playing with me? Why are you playing with me? You see how I'm giving it up.
Well, I think that there's more to you than just that.
I mean,
I
yeah,
think
but
beneath it all, there's like the sweet.
I'm sweet on the stage. No, but that is true.
Yeah.
And there are other parts, but the part that you see in the moment.
Okay.
We were out last night, right? People see me and they have this thought, but you saw me in my mode. You saw me bossed up. You saw me in action. Why would you want to change that or break that?
I can't even understand it because I kept thinking, we need to wife her up. She need to be somebody man.
No, wait.
I mean, she need to get a man. No, not see. There's the Freudian slip. Strong woman. She need to be somebody man. That's what I said. So maybe there's a little bit of softness.
Maybe I am showing up as the man, and maybe they are insecure, and maybe they can't take it, and maybe because I have a tad of masculine energy, that maybe that is intimidating to a certain type of man.
Interesting.
And mind you, I don't like to come and exude this masculine energy. I really don't. I'm really a soft, sweet, kind, loving person who will care for the king.
Okay. I believe you. I really
No, you don't.
No, I do. I believe you. I think that you're the kind of person that loves really hard.
I do.
That once you made up your mind, that's my man.
I'm in.
And then what happens?
No,
maybe
I'm gonna
you
tell you what
shouldn't
happened.
be so 100% in.
That's true. Because I'm
Maybe
gonna tell y'all about one of them.
Let's hear.
This is so
I'm taking
embarrassing.
notes.
No. I think it's also about the level in which you attract, because there have been times, I'm not proud of, that I've attracted men who are not necessarily on my level. Why do you say it like that?
Not on your level in what way?
But let's start financially, emotionally,
Okay.
mentally.
Oh no. Okay.
That's horrible. But
Okay.
I'm operating from a broken place. I know this. Trust me. I've done the work to understand why I've attracted these people, these human beings, or not. But whatever. The point is, I've attracted wrong because I was operating from a wrong place. But I also was operating from and a lot of women do, we operate from a desperate place with slim pickings and just the need and desire to have someone. most women do, we talked about this last night, most women do bounce from relationship to relationship. They don't want to be alone. They don't want that cold bed. They want to have somebody there, even if it's the wrong person. Even if it's somebody that's not good for them. Our nervous system speaks to us. Our nervous system tells us everything we need to know. Let me tell you, the last couple people I dated ago, my nervous system told me everything. I felt every time I thought about him, I just had these, just this electricity running up and down. It was
in a good way or a bad way?
No, a bad way. My soul was not at ease and at peace when it came to him, when I thought about him. And that's a problem. We do not listen to our body communicating to us.
So it could be one of two things. It could be your intuition, or it could be that person represents something that's triggering for you, that it really is nothing wrong with that person.
Well, that's a great that one.
Or was it?
That
How do you
was
differentiate the two? Okay.
But that's a great point though. That's a great point, because I will say some of it definitely he triggered some things. I'll give you an example. So I had someone that I dated who got upset and abruptly left, and I immediately thought about my mother. I immediately felt abandoned.
The abandonment wounds.
So the abandonment wounds showed up again. Now, was it wrong for him to abruptly leave? Yes. Two things can be true. Was I triggered in my spirit about feeling abandoned again? Yes.
Okay.
So there's two pieces to that.
Okay. And what did you do?
Cursed him out like a dog.
So you got angry with him?
Cursed him out like a dog. No, I got angry.
Okay.
I start to tell him about, you abandoned me. Love don't live here anymore.
Oh.
It was bad.
It's reminded me. Okay. Oh my God, the abandonment thing. No, it is. It's reminding me of car wash.
Yeah.
The lady was looking for Joe. Where's Joe?
Yes.
And it was a song that went with that.
Yeah.
Okay. What song was that?
Hold on. I forgot.
Anyway, there was a lady that she was looking for Joe. And so, it brought up abandonment issues.
It did.
Okay. And he left you.
Yes.
He did not abandon you. He left you.
He just got up and abruptly left for whatever he was dealing with.
Oh, so he was dealing with
that
something
unhealed
outside
man
of
trauma.
you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So your question is, why do strong women attract this?
Why are we still struggling? Why do we keep attracting the wrong man? Why do we keep having these relationships that are not healthy?
Okay.
What's happening?
Yeah.
It's deep.
I think every relationship teaches you something.
That's true.
I think that the gap between one relationship and the moment where you're ready to go out and have another relationship, you need to do some reflection there.
That's true.
And try to find out, what was it about that person that attracted me to them? What was that attraction reminiscent of? What was it about that person that made me want to end it? Like, how long was this relationship?
Not too long.
What is not too long?
A couple months.
Just a couple months?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your longest relationship? I'm just curious.
I've not had long relationships. Is it me?
Tiana.
Is it me?
Well,
it is not me. You're not going to get me to think it's me. No, I have my ways for sure. Okay. But my longest relationship was 3.5 years.
Okay.
But I've already opened this conversation letting you know that I have not had success. And that's why, hence the topic. But let's unpack some of it. So strength was learned in survival. That's what happens usually with a lot of women. We are strong because we are in survival mode. Many strong women had to grow up early. That happens. Familiar pain feels safer than unfamiliar peace. That's a big one. Proven worth through effort. Sometimes we do that. Carrying emotional labor in relationships, confusing loyalty with endurance. Trust. Oh, you know what's a good one? What we need to probably do. Ooh. You know what? I don't know.
I'm writing down the ones that I'm curious about.
Okay.
The one about growing up early. That's interesting. Because when you are the hero child, I think that's what that is.
Yeah.
Hero child.
Yeah.
When you are the hero child in your family and you are forced to grow up early and care for everybody else.
Yeah.
it is tough for them to have a relationship with another person.
Yeah.
Because they are not comfortable being vulnerable.
Yeah.
They're not comfortable connecting. There's no intimacy in those relationships.
Yeah.
And that's what the person that they're in a relationship with tends to complain about. Have you noticed, or do strong women notice that men say, I can't get through to you? Like, I'm trying to connect to you. I'm trying to have some deep level of intimacy. Yes, men love intimacy. Are these men trying to connect with these women, strong women, because I'm thinking of Hero Child, had to grow up early. Are they having a difficult time in relationships because they're trying to connect with another person and they get too scared?
Yeah.
And they push them away. And they're like, I feel lonely in this relationship. I might as well leave anyway.
Yeah. I just feel like we have slim pickings, Doc. Like, we really do.
No, that's
and
that part.
it's and it's like, you know, with social media, I definitely blame social media on a lot of some of the things we're dealing with, but I think, let me tell you, I've actually gone through, when I said that I attracted people that didn't have, is because you do get to a place where you say, I've been trying to go, you know, we all were told to write our list.
Uh-huh.
So I tried to get the list, and the list wasn't coming.
So then list of what?
Of what you want in a person and partner.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You can't get the list down? How long is this list?
It was 72 items on my list.
Oh, yeah, we need to get the list. Maybe we need to have another discussion on how to pare the list down.
No, but it was 72 items.
So I would, if I were you, I would go through that list again, and I would separate it into two lists and have a non-negotiable and a nice to have.
That's good.
Split it off
non-negotiable
into the two. And then look and see where you can
have.
combine some of those, because that's just a lot, 72.
Well, you know why? You know why I got to 72? Because I was doing some deep dive, and I was looking at what was causing some issues in my relationships. And so, for example, I absolutely need to have someone that understands my humor. Like that, now it's something that's small. Most people won't add something like that on their list. But when I think about my list, that's important to me because I'm raw. I'm from the Bronx. Like, I like to joke. I like, I like hip hop. I like to dance. I like to vibe. I just need somebody to understand my humor, and I crack jokes. Like, if you so dry and like, I'm like, just it'll.
Well, I mean, I like.
It's not a non-negotiable, but it's like. That's why, so I went deep and put items like that on the list.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's how I got so long.
I'm curious about this list. I'd like for you to bring the list in because I'm really curious about
it. A future episode, we're going to go to Tiana's list.
Yeah.
That's going to be the title.
I have a suggestion. Would a strong woman who's been in a bunch of different relationships, I'm wondering if that person could go to their previous partner, if they can, and just say, how do I come across to you? Just say, hey, I'm really curious about it. What was it about me that you had an issue with? Explain it to me again. GPT. And do not remove all your emotion from it, because it's going to be triggering. And just write down what they say, and then go to the next person. And then write down what they say, and then go to the next person. And then really get a list. That's the list you need.
That's the list that you need.
That's the list
of the type of person you want?
No, that's the list you really need to create.
Oh, to work on yourself?
Create the list where the person you were in a relationship with, ask them, if you still are in speaking terms with each other, ask them, what was an issue that you had with me? Tell me what the problem, how did I come across to you? When did you have issues with me, and what were those issues? And I would write them all down, every single one of them.
Okay.
And I would study, you talk about who are you, the core of you. That'll give a good glimpse to the core of the person. So
when it comes to dating from a standpoint of levels, what's your take on that?
What do you mean levels?
Like financial, mental, emotional.
Oh, yeah. So on one hand, I'm saying you need to be comfortable with differences. But on the other hand, I'm saying that you got to have the basis of your value system needs to be similar. And some of it you talk about, like if you're college educated, chances are you'd want to be with someone that's also college educated because you have that familiarity.
But if you get that man who's not, but he meets these other...
It's possible.
So
it's
that
possible.
would go on the
nice
to have list.
Nice to have. I mean, I think to connect to somebody, like it would be difficult for me because I grew up kind of sheltered. It'd be difficult for me to grow up with somebody, to date somebody who was like Hard Knocks, you know, who was like, I don't know, down and out. It would be difficult for me. It would be difficult for me to relate to that person.
Right.
So you gotta have to be evenly yoked, I think, in a lot of ways. That doesn't mean you have to make equal amount of money. What's on your list?
Well, I'm gonna bring my list. My list.
Bring your list.
I'm gonna bring my list back. But all right, so just a couple of things to unpack. So about our as we wrap our strong women. I just feel like we still have to do the self-work, right? Mm-hmm. So that we can attract. But I think we do have to get to some type of conclusions as to your point, the non-negotiables. Like, I think that we have to identify those and stick with it. Because I think a lot of times we're struggling because we're not sticking with the non-negotiables.
Mm-hmm. You need to stick with it because it's already over before it starts. So you don't need to stick with the non-negotiables. But the other things that are there, the other 65 items that's on that list, I think you need to try to combine them or take every item on that list and say, what am I really talking about? What is it that person actually gives me if they satisfy this? So kind of look a little bit underneath it and to find out exactly what it is about that particular item that's important to you.
Okay. All right. Well, this portion of our program was sponsored by The Rare Bag, Rarity New York. That's therarebag.com. And I'll leave you with this. I mean, this is a tough topic. I do agree, just for some takeaways, I do agree that the list is probably too long. I think that we probably do need to scale back our list. I mean, I've tried to even throw the list away at one point, and that didn't work. So, yeah, we're not throwing away the list. But I do like what you said earlier, when even the topic of being a strong woman. Maybe we are just this beautifully soft woman that's struggling. And then maybe even if we change the way we look at it and what strength is, it doesn't mean that we diminish our strength. We are strong women, but showing up soft is good. But I don't think we can, ladies, I think keep your standards where they need to be and intact and in place. And any final thoughts?
My final thoughts is that if you identify yourself as one of those strong women, I think that you need to think about how you come across to other people. I think you need to work on trying to become vulnerable with another person where it's not scary. And you need to accept help. You need to bring somebody in. You need to allow somebody to really love you in a way that's not scary.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. All right. So my strength now includes rest, boundaries, and truth. We are going to leave with that. Let's take a moment to hear from our co-host, Char Curry. Let's talk about it, Char.
So y'all know me. I love this topic. Okay? So why do I feel like strong women struggle in love? Let's talk about it, okay? We're going to talk about it. Because what happens is a lot of boss chicks or strong women, okay, what happens is what they do is they pit themselves, their career, their status, their financial status, their social status. What they do is they try to pit themselves over men based on that. But good men are not looking for your accolades. Good men are not looking for your social status. Good men are looking at your character, your morals, your standards, and your values. What kind of woman are you? You could be a strong woman. You could be a boss chick all you want, but what type of woman are you? Do you have good character? Do you have integrity? Do you tell the truth? Or are you a lying, scheming boss chick? See, that's the thing. Like, a lot of y'all will sit up there and try to put certain things in a box when there's all kinds of levels to it, right? So what happens is you're supposed to, as a woman, you're supposed to be feminine. You're supposed to be nurturing. You're supposed to be soft. You're supposed to be a spouse to him, okay? And so what happens is you think that your social status or your finances, your bank account, you think that that makes you better than him. And what happens is a lot of y'all think that you're supposed to be the leader of the home just based on the fact that you got a piece of paper attached to your name, or you got a certain title in front of your name, or because you make more money than him. No, that man is still the leader. So you boss chicks out there, and you strong women out there, you guys sit up here and you label yourselves one way, but then you say you want a man, you want somebody that's going to lead you. How is he supposed to lead when you always trying to be the leader? How is he supposed to show up as the man in the relationship when you always trying to be the man? You want to control everything. You let these outside forces and influences and society rule how you operate, not only with yourself, but also in your house with your spouse. So a lot of y'all are struggling because you hard-headed, you don't listen. Your focus is on your accolades and your bank account instead of focusing on the inner woman. Like, what work have you done on yourself this year? What work have you done on yourself in the last 5 years? Where do you see yourself going spiritually, emotionally, and psychologically in the next 5 years? Let's talk about that, because y'all can pinpoint, you can talk about the career, you can talk about your accolades, you can talk about your social status, but what work have you really done internally that makes you the woman that you're supposed to be? Have a good day.
I'm just excited, and we're talking about all things real. So if it happens in love, life, and relationships, you just better know
That we're talking about it.
we are.